get ready with me while I tell you about how I got started on my new LoFi album. So while I was in college, I was going to school for music composition. I knew that I wanted to make music, and like many an 18-year-old, I was certain that what I wanted to do was film. Wanting to write epic film music like I'd heard in the Avengers and Lord of the Rings. I love fantasy and sci-fi and that kind of storytelling. And I saw that using my musical talents would be a way that I could really contribute to that story. And then this crazy thing happened my sophomore year while I was looking for internships. I don't know if you heard of it. It was called the COVID-19 pandemic. And for that reason, as I was going to school in the Midwest, all of the internships that would have been available to me were canceled, kaput, not gonna happen because of the pandemic. Anyone that was supposed to travel out for an in-person music internship, no. Not to say that there weren't, remote positions that were accessible, but I wasn't gonna get in. I was already at a disadvantage for these programs for a lot of reasons, partially because I was in the Midwest, but also because it was my first time getting any kind of music composition job that would have paid me more than $50. And so I went looking for other ways to explore my outlets in music, such as creating my podcasts, chatting with creators. That's a story for another day. Or I got an internship at the Lead Center for the Performing Arts, which was the local performing arts institute in Lincoln, Nebraska. But I realized that for me, film composition was not going to be a way that I could sustain myself for a while, especially being at this disadvantage. So I started looking at other ways to compose. And I was like, how can I still tell stories? And that led to the creation of my piece, The City of Forget-Me-Nots, where myself and some friends came up with our own story, and we told it through a musical element. And with that, I got to create a lot of really cool electroacoustic sounds. And that's where this gets interesting. On The City of Forget-Me-Nots, I also got to work on a lot of really cool jazzy hip-hop beats because of the elements of the storytelling that I worked on with a funk combo, as well as Jacob Average Johnson, who was also on the album. And I found those beats to be really helpful moving forward in my career as I continue to score films and work in various freelance spheres as a composer. And now this was a project that was expanding on my love of fantasy, just putting it on a stage and doing it with a rapper, a theatrical narrator, a jazz combo, and a percussion quartet. And, you might think that those things don't all go together that often, except for in, contemporary classical music when seniors are writing their senior thesis and they decide to go all out. But there is an area where that happens a lot, but we don't think about it, and that is lo-fi music. And I knew this because I had been into lo-fi music for a long time. It wasn't what I was known for listening to. It was something that I really thought of as my own atmosphere. It started when I was 13. My chemistry teacher, Dr. Pearson, when I was 13, always turned on Lo-Fi Girl for us when we were doing in-class work, whenever there wasn't a lecture, even if it was like, group time. And I still listen to it to this day. When I am reading, when I'm drawing, when I am doing my full-time job now as a production manager at a theater company, Lo-Fi Girl is what I have on in the background whenever I'm not doing something that's explicitly music. And the other day, I was listening to Lo-Fi Girl, as I do, and I switched back to the tab as I had finished my latest thing and I was getting ready to go on break, and I saw the cutest mug in the background, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want it. So I'm going through the store and I'm like, what can I do to get this mug? And I discover this little thing in the background that is applied to be an affiliate. And I was like, you know what the hell, why not? I will speak Lo-Fi Girl's praises day and night because that's what I listen to. And I didn't think anything would come of it. I don't have a ton of followers, but I was like, I want to write this kind of music, so let's see what happens. And I said, if I become a Lo-Fi Girl affiliate, I'm going to write a lo-fi album. And within the week, just 3 days later, I got an email in the morning saying that I had been accepted to be a Lo-Fi Girl affiliate. And now that I am an affiliate, and you can use my discount code SapphireSky298 on the store, I have to do it. I'm writing the Lo-Fi album and I'm so excited. I'm in the brainstorming and the sketching phase, and I can't wait to take you guys all along on this journey with me. Right now I'm starting with 6 tracks. That's the map I'm making for myself. Maybe I'll do more, maybe I'll do less, but this is right at the beginning of the process. And the reason I chose 6, if you're a music theory person like I am, I know, what a nerd, then you know that there are 6 standard Western musical modes. And I was like, as I am writing this number of lo-fi musics for the first time, I'm going to start with what I know. And writing in those different musical modes, I think, is a really great way to dive into all of the different modes that I can make with this different kind of instrumentation and vibe. Each track is going to take place in the kind of place that I love to listen to lo-fi music. Whether that's in my room, in the rain, playing the clarinet, whether that is a coffee shop with my friends just chatting and that's what I have going on in my headphones. I'm going to take you through why I love lo-fi and where that happens. And to me, what's really fun about this is that it's something that's going to be cozy. Like I said, I still write film music. And film music, while it's a lot of things, often isn't cozy. And if it is cozy, it's only going to be cozy for like 5 minutes max, depending on the cue/scene. So this is a way for me to really dive into something that's just nice and cozy, not an epic battle or a fight or drama or comedy. I get to just dive into being comfortable, which is also why I love the Lo-Fi Girl shop, because it's just full of these comfy items that you can use to make your life more comfortable. stay tuned for part 2 of this lo-fi journey.